Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Something you said earlier just sparked in me that, this idea of like being authentic, right? We could go back and fix it, but it's really about having gratitude for all of it, the good and the bad, and seeing the lessons in all of it. So I love that. I love that you are leading by example, Russ.
Thank you. Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Today's episode brought to you by Muggs Coffee House in Lebanon, Oregon. Great coffee and great food. Also by Carrie Whitlatch, Farmer's Agent in Lebanon. For both your residential and your business insurance, call Carrie Whitlatch today. Hello everybody, Russ here with another episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. So glad to have you all here today. This podcast is all about how amazing people connect. And today I'm really excited for my guest, Nancy Barrows, because she is an amazing connector. How are you doing, Nancy?
I am fantastic. And with that intro, I don't think I could be any better.
Well, I appreciate having you on and all that you do. Nancy is such an authentic person. You're going to find out today. She is great at building online community and connecting with people. So I'm really excited about this. But at first, I wanted to remind you, I'm Russ Hedge. I'm an inspiration specialist. I'm a coach, motivational speaker. I love to connect. And you can connect with me on russhedge.com. It's that easy. russhedge.com. You can go there. It has all my connections to social media, my email, my phone number. You can even schedule time to connect, whatever you want to do on Zoom directly anytime. Yes, this is just, we're being real and authentic here, there you go. So it is so exciting that is a possibility today to go. So go to russhedge.com and schedule time to chat with me. Also, just wanted to remind you that I'm the author of Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose. And it's all about taking what life throws at you. It throws good and bad and all kinds of things at us, but we get to choose what we do with that and how we live our life. So I want to encourage you to live a positive and a good life, no matter what is coming your way. So that is my book. And also, besides Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie, also have a live show called The Experience, live with Russ and Scott every Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it's so much fun. We have great guests and you can tune in live, interact with us every Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. Pacific. It's so much fun. So without further ado, I've run out of breath, so I got to turn it over to the master connector, Nancy Barrows. Nancy, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. Something you said earlier just sparked in me that, this idea of like being authentic, right? We could go back and fix it, but it's really about having gratitude for all of it, the good and the bad, and seeing the lessons in all of it. So I love that. I love that you are leading by example, Russ.
Thank you. I try. I make enough mistakes for everybody. So there you go.
The more mistakes we have or make, I guess, the closer we are to getting it right. So about me, I am originally from New York. I live in Los Angeles, and I moved out here about 27 years ago. And was supposed to go back because that's what New York people do. We don't leave New York. So there is a list somewhere with my name on it, I'm sure of it. But I'm not giving up my life in LA. And hopefully New York can forgive me someday. My 9 to 5, I'm a speech language pathologist. I work part-time in the public schools, and I have a private practice. See, there we go. Speech pathologist, private practice. I have a private practice as well. Yeah, it happens. I have a private practice as well. And in my private practice, I really focus on social cognition. So social thinking, being able to walk into a situation, figure out the clues, figure out people's body language, figure out like what's going on and what your next move is. So I love figuring it out. I love the process of, where's the obstacle coming up and what skills are we missing? Because let's fill your toolbox. And I love doing that. Absolutely. More recently, I've had the opportunity, and I would say the privilege, quite frankly, of, having joined into the LinkedIn community and been sharing my story. And like you said, making connections. And I think that's really one of the ways that I was able to make connections, was just showing up as who I am, sharing honestly and openly, and inviting people into my world. and wanting to know about them as people as well. So it's a little bit about me.
Well, you know what I love about you, Nancy, is that you care about people, and you can tell it in your authenticity and in your story. And I've heard you on several occasions, and it's just really nice to see people when they can really connect on a real ground level. They can just be really true and honest with others, and I think that's so important because really that's what people want. They want authentic connection. They want to be around people. And even though LinkedIn, it's filled with business people that are trying to make a living and do business, but we all know that people love to work with people they know, like, and trust. And if they don't know you and like you on an authentic level, they're never going to really trust you and be able to do business with you. So, it's something that I'm always talking about. If you don't get back to your real purpose in life and what you're really all about, and if you aren't good with yourself and what you're doing, you're not going to be good with your business and everything else going on. So it all gets down to that ground level. I think that's so important.
Yeah. And to what you're saying, there are a lot of people on LinkedIn that are here for business, but they are people.
Right.
And that's where that connection piece comes, that important connection piece. And, Brian Schulman says it all, your vibe attracts your tribe. And so
Yeah.
I've been through having people in my life that I thought were real, authentic, deep relationships, and come to a bump in the road and you find out it's not. I've also been fortunate to have people in my life that when that bump comes, they're the ones holding me tight and making sure that, I don't fall over, or that if I do, someone's lending me a hand to get up. And I think that's really it. I think the pandemic has brought us to this place of maybe valuing connection a little bit more, or at least understanding that we value it as much as we do.
Right.
And I think the Zoom world, with coming back to business, and even for myself when I'm doing therapy, what's professional has changed. And what's professional has changed to a place of connect as people. So your kid's crying in the background. My cat is notorious for walking across when I am in the middle of something, tail under my nose and just keep going. But, we are connecting in our commonalities, which is
Right.
really what I wish, and I won't say wish because wish leaves it out of my hands. It's one of the things I intend to continue to put energy into is let's connect about our sameness and our differentness.
Right.
Let's remember things about each other. Let's not just have a conversation to get my words out. Like, what have you shared with me? What do I want to remember for next time? What do I want to follow up on? I mean, being curious, and I'm naturally curious, helps me a lot in my connections. I'm genuinely interested in other people. So that is easy for me. In terms of sharing my story, I don't really know how to be any other way at this point. And I say that, and it's not flippant. It took me a lot to be okay with who I am and where I am and showing up as all of me. I carried around a lot of secrets for many years. And once I unloaded them, and even the final pieces of them, I didn't realize how much they were holding me back, holding me down, and keeping me apart from people. There's things that you don't share when you feel like they're not, consumable by the public.
Right.
And it keeps you from being, really close and authentic with people in your life.
Right. I think it's so important to what you said, the people that are really there for you, the people that are really your connections, your real friends, truly, they show up when you need somebody. And, I have found that in the online community that I built over this last year, there are so many people that have come together in that way. When I put out a call to get a bunch of people on to do something and chat, I mean, they just all like, yeah, no problem. We're there for you. If I need a hand with something, they're jumping on and saying, hey, let me help you. Let me show you what you need to do. And just having people there, it's incredible. And I really appreciate that. And I think that in a way, I think in COVID, people were starved for connection at first, but I think then people really learned, the people that wanted to really learned how to deeply connect with others. And I think that makes such a difference. And then we have that bond that we're able to make each other better, which is good.
Absolutely. I come from an abundance mentality. There is enough room at the top for all of us. there's also enough room at the bottom for all of us, like, and everywhere in between, because I'm struggling doesn't mean I'm the only one struggling. And if I'm successful, everyone around me can be successful. It doesn't threaten what I can achieve by any means. In fact,
Right.
the more I amplify the people around me, the more that comes back to me, and I will succeed. I think this sense of connection, we use this word a lot, but like you said, what's real connection?
Right.
How do we really create that connection where we are deeply invested in one another, we feel completely comfortable with one another, we can show up for one another no matter where we are in our own place and time. And
Right.
I've been so fortunate on LinkedIn. I mean, I only got on, LinkedIn was at end of October. So it's only been a couple of months. And so, it's really, I'm a newbie. So all of those people who are out there are just starting, I'm happy to share my experiences about when I went left instead of right, and, all of the things that happened
You worked fast. Wow.
Yeah, I know. I was really lucky. And I mean, but I was introduced to the LinkedIn community by Raquel Boris, who is my best friend of 27 years. And
She's awesome.
she had an amazing network, and they embraced me. She put a post up that I was on LinkedIn, and I got welcomes and connects and just this genuine outpouring of welcome.
Hey, speaking of that, shameless plug, tomorrow morning on the Experience Live with Russ and Scott, Raquel Boris, she's on with Victor Villegas. It's going to be a great show.
Yeah, 7 a.m. and I'm going to be there. So
great. That's awesome. And we got to schedule you before we go. I was going to say, what's interesting is that it really is so incredible how people have come together. And I love your attitude of abundance, because what I have found is everybody wants to help each other out, at least in, the law of attraction, attracting people that are like-minded and that are really trying to do the same things is so true. And being out there, there's a ton of coaches, a ton of people that do similar stuff than me that are just pouring out themselves to me, going, let me help you. I had my buddy Jim Fuse from Atlanta today. He's showing me how to do things on YouTube and TubeBuddy and all these things that I don't know. Technology is not my forte. I learn on the fly. And so, but he's doing stuff, but he's happy to help me take time. And so making friends like that, Alan Hennessy and Jason Cooper, Wendy Stunt, Yvonne Redden, all in Dublin, Ireland, they'll stop on a dime and pick up the phone and go through things and help me out. So it's amazing, that whole idea of abundance. I'm a man of faith, so I've been in the ministry for years on top of my marketing and sales and all the things that I do. But what that has taught me, I serve an abundant God, and we have an abundance all around us. And you said it right on, you nailed the nail on the head. And that is, we can all be successful. I don't get to be successful in place of you. I don't take away your success. We can all get out there and achieve and do great things. And I think that is where that whole mentality of abundance needs to take over.
Yeah, 100%. That really is, the competition for things, and I'm sure it's just as bad in groups of men. But I haven't had that experience. But I've been in groups of women, and it's down to the little things like if someone starts dating someone, there's envy and jealousy. Like, gosh, is that the last man on earth that could possibly be a good guy and make someone happy? No, there's plenty, and that's in every avenue of my life. Right. And you touched on something, Russ, that really resonates with me. It's that whole we like to help. We're a lot of people who are empathetic, compassionate helpers out there, especially in our circles. Mm-hmm. And I was lucky, again, fortunate. There's a group of 4 of us. So it's Brian Schulman, Reggie Waterman, and Raquel Boris. And we had a conversation. We all support one another. We are friends. And we talked about the fact that we're all people who like to help, but we're not so good at asking for help. But if you're in a system where everybody likes to help, then in order for everybody to do the thing that makes them feel energized and feeds their soul, you have to allow these people that you care about to help you.
Right.
So, there's just...
And that can be hard. Mm-hmm. That can be hard. Sometimes people that are helpers, it's hard for us to take help. But, you said it, that is such a great group, by the way. And Brian is one of those that I met a little earlier on that jumped on my New Year's Eve show and has done my podcast and has already done my live show and all this stuff. And really, I mean, somebody who's way ahead of me in what I'm doing, but is willing to say, hey, I can help you out. I can promote you. You know, I can do these things for you as well. So, yeah, I mean,
all three, sorry to cut you off, I didn't mean to,
no.
but all three, you know, of the people that I am connected with in this particular group that we have made this commitment to one another, have a lot more experience than I do.
Right.
You know, in a lot of different things. And there's such generosity of spirit, of time, of knowledge, of network. It's just overflowing. You know, Raquel introduced me to her network. I have gotten a million tips from all of them on, you know, how to best maximize what I'm doing, how to, you know, avoid pitfalls, how to, you know, keep on the path that makes me feel good. And so that generosity, again, and it's not just about things. To me, it's really time, spirit, energy, knowledge, all of those good things that are intangible. And I have found that group, yes, I have those three amazing people, truly amazing people that there's accountability between the four of us. But my greater network on LinkedIn, I've had people reach out. And like, to me, that's the thing. You take the time to write me a note and message me and say that you saw me on something, or, you know, whatever it is. I so appreciate that.
Right. Yeah.
It sounds real easy, but it means stopping, taking time and doing it. And in saying that, I'd like to invite your community, your audience that's listening, to please connect with me and say you heard me here. And let's have a conversation and widen our circles and open our hearts and find more people to connect with.
Yeah. And you know what? That is a perfect segue, because we can talk all night long, but our time is up. And so how do people connect with you, Nancy?
Oh, there you go. I was right on target. Well, you can find me on LinkedIn, Nancy Barrows, and it has a bunch of letters after my name, which is my graduate degree in communication disorders and sciences. I am on Instagram. It's vibing_with_Nancy_. And on Facebook, I'm actually Nancy Debra, spelled Debra. I apologize for having to run through and run around, but being a public educator, I kind of have to keep who I am constantly moving. And they can also contact me. I mean, I'm using Calendly to just set up a virtual face-to-face, and it's calendly.com/Nancy Barrows. And again, please reach out. Let me know that you heard me here. And I'm always happy. I always have time to make a new friend. That's always going to be true.
That's awesome. And I appreciate that. You know, and in the short time that we've known each other, I can call you friend, and I appreciate you, Nancy, so much. And yeah, so, you know, today we're going to make sure and link to all of that on the show notes so everybody can get connected with you easily. And I appreciate you so much. And we appreciate all of you watching today. It's been another awesome day with an awesome person who connects. And I know that you receive value, because I know I receive value today from Nancy. So listen, thanks everybody. Thanks again for watching. We know your time is valuable. And until we see you again, have a great day and a great life. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.